The next session is between you guys and lunch, but you can still ask questions. We're going to ask the three speakers to come up one at a time, talk their 15 minutes or maybe 13 minutes, possibly. They can do that. And then we'll have a few minutes for questions thereafter. We'll probably shorten the lunch break by maybe 15 minutes, but we should be able to make some time up. I'm really pleased to introduce the session because it's really a focus on our stakeholders. Anna, come on up and I'll introduce you. The first talk from Anna Jónsdóttir was work with Ji-Yoon Kim and myself a lot on patient and caregiver analysis, but today we're going to talk about the work that she's done connecting with nephrology nurses and nephrologists, and then we're going to turn it over to two people who are going to talk a lot about patient activation. Anna Jónsdóttir, welcome.
Thank you, Larry. Okay. All right, good morning, everyone. My name is Auður Anna Jónsdóttir, like Professor Kessler introduced. So I'm going to give you a little insight into a current study we're doing about nephrology nurses and nephrologists' design perspectives for a wearable dialysis device. So let me see, sorry. So like you all may be familiar with at this point, the Center for Dialysis Innovation is heading towards novel technologies and designs for a wearable hemodialysis device. This device is called the Wearable Ambulatory Kidney to Improve Vitality, or Wearable Active. And it's an external, wearable, and miniaturized and mobile dialysis device that will function to provide renal replacement therapy for patients with end-stage renal disease. The overall goal of the Active is the development, testing, and clinical trials of personalized dialysis treatments that have the potential to sustain patient lives, increase their productivity, increase their mobility, overall increase their quality of life, all through a patient-friendly device. So this wearable active will allow an end-stage renal disease greater mobility independence by providing them with the freedom of treatment, timing, and location. And on this slide here, we can see an image of one of the potential designs of the wearable active in the form of a backpack. So how do we design a patient-friendly device? So we employ here human factors engineering and design principles that emphasize users' very early involvement in the design cycle. We aim to enhance users' safety, performance, and satisfaction. And doing so, we try to understand users' preferences early in the design cycle, then create system prototypes, and then followed by evaluation of these prototypes. And as these phases are linked to each other, like you can see, they form an iterative design cycle, where at each cycle we try to gather and understand users' preferences throughout the entire process of designing the device. So our work in understanding users' needs began back in 2018, where we started interviewing patients and care partners. Some of our findings have been published in scientific journals, including patients and care partners' needs for the general concept of mobile dialysis devices, followed by their needs for a wearable dialysis device and a portable dialysis device, a device that cannot necessarily be worn or carried by the patient, but can easily be transported around. So in this study here today, I want to present to you a second user group, nephrologists and nephrology nurses' perspectives, and their expertise is integral to the success of new products being brought to market and helps us refine and set usability goals when we're designing the device. So therefore, the goal of this study is to explore nephrology nurses and nephrologists' perspectives to guide the designs of the wearable active that allows an end-stage renal disease patient to dialyze at their choice of time and location. We specifically gathered their perspectives of ideal design features, barriers that may prevent them in recommending the use to their patient, largest acceptable size and heaviest acceptable weight of the device, and their most preferred design type of the device. So through semi-structured interviews, we systematically gathered their perspectives during the early stages of concept development for the wearable active. The interviews consisted of 2 stages, which took around 1 hour in total. The first stage included an electronic survey where we asked the participants for their demographic information and experiences with home and mobile dialysis treatments. And then we met the participants in a virtual computer-based environment where we asked them open-ended questions intended to inform the designs of the device. So here you can see some of the demographic information from our participants. We recruited a total of 30 nephrologists across 20 US states and through the American Society of Nephrology, shown here in blue color. And we recruited a total of 32 nephrology nurses across 16 US states, shown here in red. Some demographic factors here include mean age, 53 years for the nephrologists and 51 for the nephrology nurses. And we can see here their gender and race identities. So we asked the participants, first, what ideal features must a wearable dialysis device hold in order for you to feel confident in recommending the device to your patients? And our analysis of participants' responses revealed 10 categories of ideal design features. So first, I'm going to go through this hopefully quickly. Ease of using the device. Here we can see some of the keywords mentioned under it, ensuring that designing a device that's user-friendly. Safety of the device. Ensuring that the device does not cause any immediate or long-term harm to the patient. Functioning of the device, ensuring efficacy of treatment and efficiency. Support, ensuring use support and ease of support for maintenance for the device. Accessibility, ease of replacement and supplies. Here we have wearability, so we ensure comfort, unrestricted mobility for the patient. Aesthetics, so we ensure durable materials, appealing design, perhaps have it streamlined, no sharp corners. Noticeability, ensuring a discreetness of the device. Display, so ensure easy displaying of treatment information such as vital signs and adequate screen size. And monitoring, ensuring efficient reports and recording of treatment information and displaying to the patient and ideally remotely to the dialysis center as well. So we also asked the participants what would be some of the barriers preventing you from recommending the use of a wearable dialysis device to your patients. So analyzing participants' responses, our results indicated 10 key categories of potential barriers. With the 6 categories showed commonality with the ideal features. That is, these 6 categories may act as ideal features, but they also may act as barriers in design if they're not met in design. Other categories included individuality, so ensuring the device accommodates individual characteristics, such as patient's native language, level of eyesight, level of mobility, or overall health condition. Environment, so the device has to accommodate for a different climate and housing, access to electricity or water. Affordability, cost of the device may act as a barrier. And lastly here, acceptance. So the geographical range of acceptance may also act as a barrier, whether it's supported only in the local neighborhood, nationally, and ideally globally. So our findings of exploring ideal features of the wearable dialysis device, along with barriers of recommendation, helps us inform our design objectives. We observe both design commonalities and distinct design aspects and attributes that help us map out our design process towards an end product that meets users' needs. So if we compare our current findings with our previous ones of exploring patients and care partners' perspectives, we notice that the patient and care partners share many of the same perspectives as the nephrologists and nephrology nurses, with the additional mention of ensuring patients' independent use of the device. We also gathered some parameters. We gathered the upper size limits for the device, where our findings show that most nephrology nurses and nephrologists consider the size of a student backpack to be the absolute upper limit in size of the device. Similarly, we gathered absolute heaviest weight of the device, where the scale here is in pounds, and we can see that the nephrologists and nephrology nurses considered the absolute heaviest weight to be 10 pounds or 4.5 kilograms. We asked the participants also to indicate their preference order for 5 potential design types of the device. And we can see here on this graph that nephrologists and nephrology nurses most preferred a device in the form of a belt, followed equally by a vest design, a backpack, a shoulder bag, and least preferred a distributed design where components of the device may be worn on different physical locations of the patient. Similarly here, we can see if we compare with our previous findings when we explored patients and care partners' preferences for these proposed design types, you can see that the patients mostly preferred either a belt or a vest design, indicated here in light green, where the care partners preferred the vest design the most. So in summary, we explored these design features and perspectives, and we see many categories identified for ideal features, at least 10 that we identified, and as well as for potential barriers. We see that some of these categories overlap. These categories are not necessarily mutually exclusive. They may overlap, such as ease of use and safety may easily overlap, if we won't ensure ease of use of the device, it may induce risk or hazard to the patient. Acceptable size and weight limits were mentioned in the references to a student backpack as the absolute upper size limit and upper weight limit as 10 pounds. In terms of preferred design types, we see belt design, concept of the belt design being most preferred, followed equally by vest, backpack, or shoulder bag, with a distributed device being the least preferred. So study application, what can we do with these findings here? The input from the nephrology nurses and nephrologists in the study offers a vision for the most ideal designs of the device that clinicians may feel comfortable recommending to their patients as the primary mode of dialysis treatment. These findings from the study help designers obtain and refine usability goals that help prioritize design solutions based on user needs. And ensuring patient satisfaction of wearing the device will ultimately become a combination of their satisfaction and acceptance, and designing a device that meets users' needs across diverse user population. And as we've heard today, the human-centered design has become recognized as a crucial aspect of successful product development, and we continue to integrate users' perspectives throughout designing the wearable active. And our next step involved creation of low and high fidelity prototypes, followed by field testing and evaluation. So thank you so much. Gratefully, I want to acknowledge a grant from the Northwest Kidney Centers to the Center for Dialysis Innovation that supported this study, and our collaborative partners in American Nephrology Nurses Association and American Society of Nephrology. Thank you so much.